First things first, gentlemen. How are you?
We are doing great, thank you very much.
We're good. Yeah, awesome.
I mean, the short answer is good. The long story is slightly more complicated, but you know, we're definitely doing well.
We good.
Yeah, we're good.
Let's start there then, because I believe today is the last show of this leg of the tour.
Mm-hmm.
So, what are your feelings? Is it sadness? Is it kind of relief?
It's a bit of both, in my opinion. Or it's better both in my camp. Sort of like, I think when we left on this tour, we're filled with enthusiasm. We're like, let's do Europe. And then after your 7th, 8-hour drive, you're just like, damn, I'm ready for bed now. So it's been a fantastic tour. We really have loved every second of it. But I'm really looking forward to getting back to my own bed, and not to ever wish tour away or anything like that. It's been a wonderful experience, but I've certainly missed the home comforts, and I certainly didn't appreciate how difficult it's going to be.
What is one thing you took for granted?
How do you mean took for granted? Like,
well, of being back home, something that you might have missed.
The last sort of big tour we were on, it was just like, oh my god, we've got like an hour-and-a-half drive to the venue today. We're just like, oh, it's so far away. Where it's like today, it's just like, right, okay, guys, we got to wake up 7 a.m. because we got to drive 8.5 hours. And you're just like, damn, that's a long time. And it's a lot of petrol, and it's a lot of gas station food.
Did you have any expectations then starting this tour?
I think when we started the tour, we kind of were aware that nobody was going to know who we are, because we don't really live in the same genre as Frank Carter and D-Mob.
Right.
It was our first time in Europe, so it's not like we have a huge amount of fans here. Although we were delighted to find out that we had some.
Yeah. Shout out to everybody who came down the front and sang along.
Yeah. So I think our expectation was that it was going to be tough, and we were going to be playing a lot of rooms who didn't really have a clue who we were or what our songs were, and that's been true to an extent. Although I think playing's been the easiest part of the tour.
I would agree with that.
The audiences have been extremely receptive, dead nice. We met a lot of lovely people.
Very very warm, welcoming, hospitable, people, both in terms of crew and fans.
And just the difficult part, like Sean said, it's just been the drive in and the, it's a big tour. There's a lot of miles in between each date.
Yeah.
And,
I think we calculated on the miles on our van the other day. We reached 3,500 since we left, and it's quite a lot of miles. It really is.
I reckon it'll be 5 by the time we get back home. And
obviously, for both of you, it's not the first time you've toured. You've toured the UK and with different bands as well. So what? And I can imagine these kind of tours are very valuable. So what have you learned from not only from the earlier tours you've done, but this one? Kind of what has it made you realize?
Specifically, this one, I think I've learned a lot about performing as being a frontman. Getting to watch Frank Carter every day, which is obviously awesome. But I think a lot of the tours and gigs that we've done have been to very, very warm audiences who knew who we are and familiar with our material. And these shows have been to people who just don't know who we are. So learning how to grab a crowd's attention who never heard of you before, you learn so much about what you can do when you get back in front of crowds who know who you are. So I picked up a lot about performing. I don't think we've necessarily learned this because we've always been quite professional, but every day on this tour, we help the other bands, we're always there on time, we always get our stuff off stage in the time that we've been asked. We just hit our marks every day, and we can see from the crew how much that's appreciated. So I think we've learned a lot about being a professional band who tours professionally.
Yeah, definitely. I agree.
And in terms of the live performances then, because there is a lot of energy in them, and I've seen clips of you going into the crowd, and this might be impossible, can you describe what it's like to be on stage and have that response from the audience?
It's, it's great. I mean, that's obviously why any band starts, is that kind of, the kind of things that you just described. I think a lot of emotions go through your head when you're playing, and I wish I could say that it was all just like, oh, I'm enjoying this so much, but there's a lot going on that the audience might not necessarily see in terms of making sure that every part of the show goes off. So a lot of the time, you're just thinking about, what am I doing next? Where do I need to be next? What do I need to watch out for to make sure that this is as seamless a performance as possible? But occasionally, you're just totally in the moment, and you're listening to the sound from the crowd or the energy in the room or whatever, and you're just there, just enjoying it, you know.
I try to have a party on stage every day, you know, and as DJ said, it's easier said than done, you know. You get up and so many things are running through your head. You're just like, right, what's today's audience going to be like? Are they going to be warm? Are they going to be cold? Are we going to have to work really hard to get them on board? Are they going to be massively keen? And you know, I don't think we don't plan a lot of what goes up on our stage. We just kind of like get up and we vibe it and we see what's going on. And you're just like, am I going to say the magical combination of words that's going to get everybody pumped today? You know, and you know, you may look at performers on stage and be like, right, okay, you know, they're playing these songs diligently and they're having a good time or whatever, but chances are they're probably reading the crowd really carefully. You know, they're seeing what's going on. How's the back? You know, are the back into it? How's the front? Are the front into it? You know, what are the sides saying to it? You know, what's the energy of the entire crowd going? You know, and your job as a performer, you need to be like, especially as a support band, to get everybody really pumped up. Like, the main act's coming, it's going to be killer. You know, we're going to get you fired up and having a good time. And when I'm on stage, you know, I'm always looking at that kind of thing, you know. A lot of the time, I'm not necessarily thinking about, you know, what am I playing or how am I singing. I'm like, right, when's my next jump? You know, how hard am I rocking out? You know, are these people into it and are they responding well? And I think being on this tour and seeing Frank Carter and the Rattlesnakes do that so well, you're just like, right, okay, I want to be like that. You know, I can play my song, I know that. Well, sometimes. But, you know, what I really want to do is like, have a really great show. Totally.
It's at the point that I made at the start, it's actually, you know, about getting to see Frank Carter every day. Obviously, I sing in a band too, so that's my main kind of what I can draw from the Rattlesnakes. But just seeing, you know, their guitarist Dino or their bassist Tank or their drummer Gaz, and the way that they get an audience involved, which is even more impressive when you think about it, because they've got a job to do. They're playing an instrument or whatever, and I think just the whole band creating that energy makes such a big difference for their performance, and that's something that we're try emulate.
Yeah, and that energy, because we've kind of talked about what it's like being on touring. I don't know if drudgery is the right word of it to use, but the kind of well, you get exhausted. So what is it like then to have to perform? How do you muster up that energy? And
I think for me, there's no choice. You know, you get up, you're just like, right, here's my job. And I think that we've gotten so far, you know, in this musical career or whatever, and our personal lives as well, just by like, I've got a job to do, so I'm going to do it no matter what. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter if I'm tired or, you know, I want to sleep or I want to do this, I want to do that. It doesn't matter. I got to go up, I got to perform. You know, and it's more than just singing well, it's about doing the whole show. You know, so how do you muster up the energy? I don't know, it just comes to you. I think a lot of this is the adrenaline as well. Getting up in front of, like, you know, 300, 400 people, it'll pump you full of energy no matter how you feel, you know.
In my research about you, the one thing that came across was work ethic. So, and I think you've been doing, and it's kind of what you're talking about now. So, what is the drive? You mentioned being on stage is kind of the ultimate thing, but what is the drive? Did you always, as a band, have that work ethic?
Yeah. I think we're all pretty much working class people. We wouldn't turn our hand to anything without giving it a proper go. And I think that's just an ethic that's always run all the way through the people in our band. It's just, you know, you want to work hard, you want to do a good job, and you want whoever has put you on or whoever you're touring with or whoever's running the stage that day to think, you know, these guys are pros. And that's just something that's luckily has always been built in for everybody in our band. But the harder the opportunities become as we get a little bit further down our career path, you know, the more work that's required every day. And like Sean says, there's days where you get up and you want to lie in bed for 2 hours, but you've got to leave immediately, and you're not getting a shower, by the way.
Or breakfast.
So you've just got to keep doing it. I mean, and the thing to remember is once you set a standard, you know, it's up to you to maintain that standard. It's up to you to get back to that level every day.
Yeah. And, you know, I guess what is the drive? What is the goal? And I think sometimes when things get really, really hard on tour, you just have to think it. You have to look around. You have to gain perspective once again. And you have to think to yourself, God, what am I doing? I'm getting on stage and I'm playing in front of hundreds of people every night. You know, what an incredible opportunity. You know, and sometimes I'm like, you know, what is the purpose? You know, but the purpose is just to get out there, have a good time, kill it every night, and I don't know. Part of me is like, I always wanted to do this. Now I am doing it, so I'm just going to keep doing it to the very best of my ability, no matter what.